Cracking Thai in 10 Sentences, episode number 10. Woohoo! We have now 100 sentences where we've done a deep dive not only into doing this spaced repetition where you can hear the sentences over, but we've also looked deep at the social use of language, at the different nuances, the different ways you could say different things, all riding on the back of these amazing, now over 5,000 sentences, extremely useful sentences that David Martin's put together. Now we're using this interface that I put together. If you want to learn to build interfaces like this, well, come and join Minecraft, because we learn not only the linguistic skills, but also the tech skills as well to put your learning on steroids. So let's fetch these 10 sentences to take us up to 100 sentences. Bang! And there they are. Okay, so we have some really cool sentences here. I find the best way to do these, I don't even look at them when they come up. I'm going to just let them hit me randomly in the face when I open each sentence. So even though I have them over here on the right, all I'm going to do is look here, and I want to describe what that sentence evokes in me first, even before I look at the translation. So this first one, what does it say? ตกลงครับ. Okay, interesting. Often you will see this sentence in subtitles whenever in English they say okay in a movie, and they'll say ตกลงครับ. And I guess it's the closest thing to saying okay, except for when Thais actually say okay. So I've got a few things to comment about this one. First of all, have a look at the tones here. To. That is a low tone. And then we have long, ตกลง, low, common tone. And then if you're a guy, you would say the word krap. So krap. Now the high tone in Thai, remember, is high getting higher. So that's a 4 to 5. So ตกลงครับ, not ตกลงครับ. Okay. So make sure you don't get that English sound envelope superimposing itself over the Thai. It's not okay, ตกลงครับ. It's ตกลงครับ. Okay, so that's the first thing. The next thing worth pointing out here, though, is that this isn't really used in the way that we would use okay in English. It's used as a translation for okay, and you kind of get the feeling, and most Thais know, oh, they've said okay in English when they see this come up in subtitles. However, we use okay a lot in English for all different things, and Thais really won't use it like that. So, ตก literally means to fall, long down. So ตกลง, you can picture almost this thing, ตกลง, almost like a paperweight, ตกลง, on whatever the thing is that you've settled on. And that's basically what ตกลงmeans. It means I have settled it. Let it be settled. It is settled. That is the meaning of ตกลงครับ. But you really don't want to say it's settled to everything that you would say okay to in English. So do you want this? ตกลงครับ. It doesn't really make sense. It is settled. Yes, I do want it. To say ตกลงin that sentence, it doesn't really make sense. In that sense, in English, it's almost like saying yes. But in Thai, it has this weight to it, ตกลง. So what you would say in Thai is just maybe ครับ, which means ครับขอรับ, may I receive what has been said. Now, if you're a lady, you would say ค่า ครับfor a guy, ค่า falling for a lady. And this goes into that clip that I put out years ago. There is no such word in Thai for yes. Thai, in order to confirm something or say something in the affirmative, you repeat the verb. And so if I wanted to say กินข้าวไหม กิน. Do you want to eat? กินข้าว กิน. Eat. That's the equivalent of saying yes. You could also just say ครับ ขอรับ. May it be received that I am in compliance, which means yes. But there's no actual word for yes like we have in English. So กินข้าวไหม กิน. Yes. กินข้าวไหม ครับ. That would be interpreted to be yes. กินข้าวไหม. If you wanted to say, do you want to eat? Okay. ตกลงครับ. It doesn't really sit well in that context unless you're negotiating on what you're going to be eating, and finally you've negotiated on it and okay, this is what we're going to have, and they're going to serve it to you. But even that is a stretch to use ตกลง. So in summary, ตกลงครับ is the standard subtitle way of translating okay from English, but you can't really use it in exactly the same ways that we use okay. One last thing that I'd like to say on the word okay. often you will hear Thai say, okay, to foreigners. And this is foreigner Thai or foreigner talk. Well, actually, it's English too. And so a lot of the time, if you're wanting to know whether or not a Thai is speaking genuine, authentic, normal Thai to you, or they're giving you a foreigner version, if you hear this you, okay, in their Thai, you know that you're getting this foreigner facade to their Thai. Thais will sometimes say ke, okay. Normally when they're typing, they might just write ko a ke for okay, but you wouldn't say okay. This is distinct foreigner talk, even when Thais are speaking Thai. So that is a tell for you. If someone's saying you for the pronoun you, or ke, okay to you, you're getting foreigner Thai. Okay, we've milked that. Next sentence. Sentence number 85, sentence 2 in this set. Chon gao. Cheers. So there's not a lot to say here. Well, maybe there will be. Chon means to crash into or clink into, and gao is a glass. So chon gao, to clink glasses, which means basically to say cheers. And you know when you're saying cheers, by the way, Thais will say chai yo, meaning victory, when they're doing a toast or something, and then finally they say cheers. What I think would be useful here is talk about the word chon, because there are two meanings of chon. We have the Thai meaning, so chon meaning to clink or to crash together. And so you could say khap lot, to drive a car. Chon, khap lot chon means you had a car accident. If you were hit by a car, you would say don lot chon. Don literally means to be on the impact side of something. So don ti, I was hit. Ti in this sense is like to hit or smack somebody. So don chon, to be smashed into by something. If you use don, so don lot chon, I was hit by a car. But there's also another word chon here, and it comes from the Sanskrit word jana. Jana means person. And so a lot of the time you will hear, say in the word prachachon, but prachachon is your identity card. This chon here comes from the Sanskrit jana, meaning person. And so when you're seeing a word, if you see chon in a long syllabled word or sentence, it's probably meaning person from the Sanskrit. If you see it in just a word like this, chon gao, just two syllables, it's probably meaning to crash or to clink together. There's one other word pronounced chon as well, and that's, for example, in the town's name Chonburi. That's not a nonu. If you see here, this is chono. You also have cholo, which would be jala in Sanskrit, which means water. So Chonburi is literally Jalaburi, which means the town of water or town on the water. Chonburi. So chon pronounced the same as chon people or chon to crash into, but they all have different meanings and all have different etymologies. Okay, next sentence. Wow, what a mixed up sentence. Sentence number 3 or 617 from the full batch. Okay, คนให้เข้ากัน. This could be very, very misleading. Kon, we just had chon meaning two different things or three different things. Here, kon can mean different things as well. Normally you would know kon, say for example, kon Thai, a Thai person, kon meaning person. But kon can also mean to stir or scramble. And so this sentence could potentially have a couple of different meanings. The next word, hai, meaning to give or bestow. That's one of my Cracking Thai Fundamentals 11 core meaning blocks. Get the book if you haven't done it, or the online course, and you'll learn all about hai. So hai in its essence is to bestow. The Chinese word gei, the same root. Kao, to enter in, to go in. Kao, and then gan. We've looked in so many clips during this series. Gan is this reciprocation particle, which is the same as xiang in Chinese, meaning to reciprocate. So lak gan, lak to love, lak gan, love one another. Just like xiang ai to love in Chinese, xiang ai to love one another. So in Thai, the particles are flipped around. This reciprocation particle is put at the end of whatever it is being reciprocated. So let's have a look at what this means then. Kon hai. Supposing we were looking at this meaning person, the person that gives, kao gan, kao meaning to enter into, but kao gan you need to look at as one meaning to go together. so this thing goes with that theyเข้ากัน this color goes with this color the colors เข้ากัน this person gets on really well with this person so they เข้ากัน or maybe you'll say เราสองคนไม่เข้ากัน the two of us don't get along together so เข้ากัน means to go together to match and so คนให้เข้ากัน if you looked at this as a person that makes things go together it sounds a little weird but it could make sense it makes a lot more sense however if we look at this meaning to stir คนให้เข้ากัน so you're making something in a recipe and you put it all together and then you คนให้เข้ากัน you blend it all in together and so I'm thinking that this is probably what this means let's see what it says here mix blend scramble them together there you go so คนให้เข้ากันit could mean a few different things but in this sense คน is meaning to stir to mix to blend together I'm curious let's see the context here what is it sayingเป็นหนังสือที่ขายดีที่สุด it's a book that sells the best which basically it's a best-selling book best-selling novel and คนให้เข้ากัน mix it up to go together or blend it all together so that is totally disjointed as you can see here sometimes these things have relevance seeing it in context but as we see here it doesn't have any relevance however if we look at this one ปรุงด้วย okay so these two actually go together ปรุงmeans to enhance and so you have เครื่องปรุง if you've ever eaten in Thailand and you see this little thing on the table and it's got sugar it's got fish oil it's got chilies in vinegar and it's got the dried chilies this is called เครื่องปรุง เครื่อง a machine or a utility ปรุง to enhance the flavor of your food so that's เครื่องปรุงby the way the hospital บำรุงราษฎร์บำรุง is this Khmer structure from ปรุงตรวจ to check ตำรวจ someone who checks is a policeman ปรุง to enhance บำรุง to make better ราษฎร the people so บำรุงราษฎร์ is the hospital that makes the people better this is from this word here ปรุง so ปรุงด้วย means to enhance the flavor ด้วย with ซีอิ๊วขาว so ซีอิ๊ว is from ซือโหยว in Chinese which means the soy sauce or white soy sauce here it's the light soy sauce so these two go together I think คนให้เข้ากัน so mixing up maybe you're making an omelette and then you want to put some soy sauce on it to make it taste better Thais will put Maggi sauce in it with it as well maybe that's what they mean when they're making an egg or making breakfast and then what's the next one ห้ามสูบบุหรี่ you're not allowed to smoke so maybe they're making food they're making an egg they put the Maggi sauce in it and don't smoke while you're eating I'm using my imagination here that was a fantastic excuse to describe the meaning of brung and how it goes with food and making things better so there you go that's the first 3 sentences of 10 for episode number 10 of Cracking Thai in 10 sentences. We're up to 100 sentences by the end of this. That's over 6 hours worth of content that you can go in and get at jacademy.com. In the unlimited bundle, you get it for free. You can buy it outright, but most people get it in the monthly subscription bundle. I think it comes to $9.99 a month. If you haven't got the Cracking Thai Fundamentals book as well, get that. If you're in Thailand, you can order it from the link below. Don't forget to scan the QR code down below and come and continue this discussion in Discord. For those who are not in YouTube land, let's go to the next sentence.